It's an honor to be brought out here, and kind of crazy because my business has just begun. So I'm not in the great phase yet. I'm just going from good to new good, I guess. But anyway, it's awesome to be here. This is where all the cool people in the city hang out during the day. I see so many people I know in here. And there's things like Ghostbusters and whatever else is written on that board over there, which looks really fun. I don't know what you guys actually do in here, but it seems great. It's good. It's good except for that clown over there, which is scaring the shit out of me. So I'll tell you a little bit about kind of some of the other professional marketing opportunities I've had throughout the years that have brought me to start my own business, and then we'll get into what Golden does for you guys. So I studied something completely unrelated, as most good marketers do. In university, I studied urban planning, and then I immediately took a job as the marketing manager for spare parts in the city, doing all their social media and helping that grow, and some videos, and trying to throw events and things like that. And then I got really caught up in doing events in the city, and I started a little project called YXE Street Food, and we threw a festival for a number of years here. And meanwhile, I had been working as a manager for a video production company in the city for a number of years. And then I took a job at Tourism Saskatoon, which is where I worked for the last 2 years. And I threw a ton of other events with them in the city. The Rush Rally that we had downtown, and the FIBA 3-on-3 basketball tournaments that we've got for 3 years that started this summer, and things like that. And then I had always been doing kind of video stuff on the side, and I would come home from work at Tourism Saskatoon and be much more excited to get to work on all my video projects that I had going for my own company. Staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning, editing those, then going to work the next day, and then it started making me more money than my full-time job, so it was time to make the switch. So that's what I'm doing now. It's called Golden. I found 2 friends of mine that shared very similar interests, and we fired it up. We wanted a real kind of 1970s dirty record label for musicians vibe for our company, so that's what we went with. And we've been doing videos for a bunch of different people in the city, lots of events. Pride Festival we did, Jazz Festival this year, out Saskatoon. We did a bunch of videos for Louis on campus, a bunch of developers and realtors in the city. And I've also been doing lots of work with Tourism Saskatoon since leaving there as well. So actually, let's fire that video up right now. This is one we just finished for them, so you can get a feel for what our video vibe is like. There it is. Some audio there too. Thank you. City's pretty all right. So that was designed for Tourism Saskatoon for their international department, for people who wouldn't even know where the hell Saskatoon was to come to Canada for their conferences and things like that. So part of what we do with Golden is we do social media management and content creation, so photography and video and that sort of thing. But we all kind of believe wholeheartedly that it's important to add some personality and character to your social media. It's one thing to have glossy photos and videos and that sort of thing, but it's another to have kind of a voice and draw people in and give them something really interesting to follow. So rather than just kind of standard comments, we'll involve a lot of humor. We'll do a lot of video work and we'll involve people in it. When I worked with Tourism Saskatoon, we would work with a lot of business owners and do interviews with them and that sort of thing so people could get to know businesses around the city. And we took that Instagram on a little journey from 1,200 to 12,000 followers. So that was a big success story for us. And I had done similar things with a lot of other accounts, and people had been approaching me about social media. So I took it from a side gig to something that's full on. And so now we work with a lot of restaurants in the city. We've got Drift and Bon Temps, and as I mentioned, some things on campus, Louise, and we've done a lot of construction work and things like that, adding a little bit more fun to businesses like that. So we're just in the early stages right now, but it's been super rewarding, and it's a big risk to take. I had worked for a video company for a long time that was actually based out of Regina, and I was managing the Saskatoon office for it, which is where I learned how to, not only shoot and produce and edit video, but how to interview people. And that was my favorite part of the job, is pulling the stories out of business owners and people who work there and things like that. And for me, that should always be the focal point when you're advertising a business, is pulling out the stories instead of just the stats and the numbers and things like that, and why those people started the business in the first place, and why it's important to them. So everything that we do with Golden so far kind of tells a little bit of that story. You can see with the Tourism Saskatoon video, that one doesn't have anyone talking in it, but it adds a little bit of personality and a little bit of humor in the text there, instead of just your standard tourism video that's got people having fun in the city and walking around and shopping and that sort of thing. So that's what we strive to do. And going forward, it's just going to be a two-man operation, because immediately after we started, Anthony, who worked for us, got a job working for Michael Franti as his full-time media guy down in San Francisco. So he's working from there. He's helping us out a bit, but he's pretty preoccupied with that. So it's me and Harrison right now, who's sitting in the back. He does a lot of our social media management stuff. Super witty, super funny, great with the copywriting and things like that. And I'm doing a lot of the video and photography thus far. So thank you guys for listening.